Tommy Robinson phoned me up at 7 a.m. this morning and asked me if I could come to the UK immediately to cover his trial that starts tomorrow morning in Peterborough. So I'd have to get on the plane tonight, fly overnight from Toronto, land at Heathrow very early tomorrow morning, and then drive or take the train up to the courthouse there. This is not the contempt of court prosecution of Tommy. That's not until March 22nd. This is Tommy going on the offensive himself, suing the Cambridgeshire police for abusing him and his family. I honestly had forgotten about that case, and I think it was on the back burner for Tommy too. And now it's starting tomorrow, and Tommy called me up and said no honest journalist will be there. He can't trust the BBC or Channel 4 or ITV or Sky or any of the newspapers. I mean, do you think John Sweeney is going to cover him fairly? And Tommy pointed out that since he has been banned from Twitter and Facebook, he can't very well defend himself either, can he? So he's asked me to literally get on a plane tonight to come over and cover his 3-day trial. Let me remind you what this is about. Tommy was out at a restaurant with his family. He was taking his kids out to watch soccer, or football, as they call it in the UK, with his kids. And then suddenly a bunch of police swarm him and his family and tell him to get out of the city or be arrested. No reason. He was just at a restaurant. They were utter bullies, police state style. And they came at him with his kids there on purpose to traumatize them. Take a look.
What sort of law tells a man with his children he has to leave a city? What is that about? Right. What is that about? What is that about? Freedom, democracy, Britain. What's that about?
It's quite simple.
I should be,
Do you want me to explain it?
Tell me why then. Tell me why.
The situation is, because of the lessons we've learnt in the past, we know that if certain groups stay within the city,
I'm with my children.
Okay.
I'm with my children.
Sorry, that's abusive, and it was obviously planned that way on purpose. Just the same as when police showed up at Tommy's family home at 4 a.m. that day to arrest him for contempt of court. They could have come at 10 a.m. They could have simply phoned him, but they wanted to shock him and scare his wife and kids to get Tommy to shut up and quit this whole politics thing. That's what this is. Except this time, Tommy is fighting back by suing the police in civil court. He'll be cross-examining the police officers. Why did they do this? Who told them to do it? It violated every rule of policing. Why did they abuse his family? Why did they make his children cry? Who put them up to it? Tommy tells me that the body camera footage of these police is shocking, and it actually shows police themselves saying they can't believe they're doing what they did. Tommy tells me the police have tried to settle this case with him several times to avoid this information becoming public, which is exactly why Tommy asked me to drop everything and come to the UK tonight. Because if I don't, the whole point of this trial will be wasted. You know that old saying, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear, did it make a sound? Well, if Tommy exposes the police as being political bullies who are using their police badges and uniforms to run political errands for politicians who hate Tommy, well, that's huge news. But if no one is there to report on it accurately, did it even happen? Normally, Tommy can speak for himself, but he's been shut down on Facebook and Twitter. He literally phoned me at 7 a.m. and asked me to come tonight. So I've rearranged my schedule to help my old friend. I really wasn't planning on coming back to the UK until his contempt of court hearing later this month, but I understand why he wants me there right now. So I immediately went online and I checked Expedia, and the only flight that gets me into London earlier enough to get up to Peterborough is the night flight tonight. And I'm afraid that on short notice, that flight is 2,800 Canadian dollars. That's 1,600 pounds. I'll have a few other expenses too, and we'll need to hire a UK-based cameraman to film my commentaries. If I stay for all 3 days, I think my total expenses and those of my cameraman combined will be close to 3,000 pounds. It's short notice, but Tommy said he really wants me there. In all the excitement about the contempt of court case against him and his panodrama movie, I think this court case tomorrow sort of slipped through the cracks. I understand why he wants me there, though, and I think I can do a good job. But can you please help cover my flight and the cost of my UK cameraman? Tommy asked me for this favor, and I want to do it. Can you please do me a favor and help cover my travel costs? I'll put all of my videos from this trial up at tommytrial.com, and that's where you can go to help chip in to cover the costs of it. Please visit tommytrial.com. Frankly, I think it'll be a fascinating and rare investigation into how the police have been targeting Tommy and how they abuse their power to silence his politics. Please go to TommyTrial.com, and I'll see you tomorrow from the courthouse in the UK. Tommy is in court again, but this time he's the hunter, not the prey. He's going after the police who abused him and his family in Cambridgeshire. Tommy asked me to come to the courthouse in Peterborough to cover the case, and I agreed to do so. I'm hopping on a plane tonight. If you can help me cover the cost of that flight, please do, at TommyTrial.com, and that's where all my videos from the trial will be too. Thanks so much.